And Ashley back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Gettin It podcast. Just so you guys remember, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Gettin It podcast. Even on iTunes, if you search Young and Gettin podcast, we will pop up. Those are two separate things, and that's why I say that, because people don't know that. Also, soundcloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. We're on there. Follow us, comment. We love y'all. Thank you for following us so far. Also, we're on YouTube. Search Young and Gettin It podcast. Getting does not end with a G. It's an N with an apostrophe because we're young millennials. So Young and Gettin It podcast. We're also on Google Play, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast.
And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. Our Twitter and Instagram usernames are at YAGI_podcast. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/YAGIPOD. You can also email us at ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. And if you would like to find everything all together, look for our website or just, type it in, www.weareyagip.com. You can find all of our social media there, all of our listening avenues there. Anything, everything is there.
So let's talk, guys.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel. Also, if we say ignorant things, you can tell us. Don't be afraid. Just don't be those trolls.
Yeah.
Those trolls are really weird.
And don't say evil things.
Yeah. I don't want you to die. Like, don't tell me you want me to die. Or don't tell me what that person say on our Instagram.
I hope something violent happens to us, basically.
I hope you get abused by a man. I'm like, girl, you could just say that you don't like the opinion and your reasons why. So, we're not offended. It's just that there's a difference between intelligent and stupid. So, first of all, we should talk about Pusha T's album just dropped. The only song I've listened to so far is the one that people went insane about dissing Drake. Me and Ashley have had too much homework. So we don't have time to be listening to full albums and paying attention. We can listen to it and we'll get nothing from it because we will not listen to any of the songs. So we made sure to listen to the song that has been trending, which is I forgot what he called it, and I just have it.
Song by Pusha T.
But it was like Illmatic.
I just feel like he didn't come that hard. But I don't know if his whole purpose of that song was to diss Drake, or if he was just making a song. He's like, let me just throw in dissing Drake up in there.
Yeah, because it seemed like exactly. He was just trying to diss Drake in there. It didn't seem like he was.
The whole goal of the song was to do that. And so, Drake's reaction, I was definitely okay, my whole aim is to go in on Pusha T. Because I feel like Drake came hard, but I am biased. So.
When we were listening to it, I was like, you do love Drake, so you might be biased. Yeah. But it was clear what Drake just did.
Definitely. And
I cannot find the name of this song. Daytona. Okay. Wait, no, this is the album. Kanye Proof's album. Infrared.
Okay.
So we got it. So Pusha T's song was called, I know, right? Why the fuck? This is how much people are obsessed with Drake, because we just looked it up on our phone. All you can see is the title of Drake's track, and you cannot see the title of the actual song that Drake responded to, because people are so up Drake's ass, which is okay because Drake is very talented and he's cute.
Yes.
And he's rich.
Yes.
And he passes off rich vibes, and I have no problem catching those. So, yes, Infrared. We listened to Pusha T's Infrared, and it was like he just had a segment that was a diss. It wasn't like he was making the song about Drake at all, but he's like, this is how I really feel. Let me tell you how I really feel. Also, I think Pusha T's comfortable with battling people. So he's like, if you want to battle, let's go.
Let's do this.
Yeah. So, but Drake, I listened to it for the second time. It was Ashley's first time. And
surprising, I didn't listen to it sooner,
Yeah. And the second time I paid more attention to the words. Well, this was my first time watching it with lyrics. And I'm like, damn, Drake he's going off. While we were listening to it, I was like, rah, because Drake was really just kind of slaughtering niggas.
He was really coming with the shots.
Whoa. He just did a full, but I can't even, the thing is, I don't even say, people online were just like, oh, Drake won.
No,
Pusha T needs to go
not a battle
high.
yet.
A battle is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yet.
People forget that. And just because he bodied Meek doesn't mean he's going to body
Meek. He
Pusha
could lose.
This would be great for Pusha T's career too, if he's able to just body Drake, and then Drake bodies this nigga back, and then Pusha T bodies this nigga. And then if Pusha T wins, because I don't want actually don't want it to be a Meek Mill situation where the most famous, biggest guy wins. I want the underdog to whoop this ass, and then it'll make him way more famous, and he'll be successful. Drake will still be Drake ain't going nowhere. Like, just like Nicki Minaj ain't going nowhere. Like, Drake ain't going nowhere. So he's just gonna stay being rich.
Like, Drake
is
still gonna have a fan base.
Drake
is like Taylor Swift. Like, Taylor Swift is always gonna have a fan base.
It's always going to grow.
No matter how much she plays damsel in distress, this bitch still got a fan base.
And it's growing exponentially.
Yeah.
Like, you're okay. 100%. You're actually richer
and
now.
She just got called out for something. I don't remember what she did because I don't care that much.
Nobody
But
cares.
I saw like how somebody's fans had clapped back on her like, nah, bitch, you wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was, but it happened.
Yeah, I hope she didn't
I was
go
very
and cry.
happy.
It's weird, celebrities online, because I'm just like, how does this stuff people have to say affect you? And you know, like, but I don't know.
It's like,
I've
are
not
you
been in
my
that
friend?
position.
Do I know you?
Yeah, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
And like, you should expect people to not like you.
It happens.
So you want everyone to like you? Don't live your life expecting everyone to like you.
Because
you
if
know,
somebody
like,
doesn't like you, you should be able to go on with your day and be like, cool.
yeah. And to be like, that's real normal.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone likes me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just like, I feel like when you're a celebrity, it's like exponentially like displayed to you. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, a lot of people don't like me. But then it's like, a lot of people do like you.
And Cardi B, like, she's a good example. Like, you know, a lot of people like you.
Yeah.
So you are giving a lot of energy, but she is also 25.
Yeah.
And
pregnant. So
okay.
Intense.
And then her husband fiance goes and gets in a crazy car accident. And then she came back online and already started clapping back at people. I was like, Cardi, you didn't even take a break. I've heard multiple different like random sources of discussion where people have been like, Cardi B, stop. You know, like, stop. Why do you care so much about what? Because she really be talking back to these people a lot. I know she got famous off the internet, so she probably has heavily been talking to everyone since she first got an Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she probably always saw. But stuff like that is like, you gotta stop. And when you're pregnant, you'll be all stressed out. You didn't even come to Rolling Loud, so I'm gonna need you to stop being mad at people, because I'm mad at you a little bit and I let it go.
Right. Okay. Who's being the bigger person here now?
And
Cardi?
I'm not rich, so you know, break me up. You know, like, give me a break, please.
Yeah, and we bought those tickets with the intention of you being there.
When we actually could have just bought no tickets, bought a flight out there, and bought that off of somebody on the street. Because if y'all didn't know, at Rolling Loud, like, Rolling Loud was amazing. It was a black Coachella. Amazing. Like, it was really good. But that shit was still black. So you didn't even need to get your tickets, because at the box office, they were still selling tickets. Yeah. And then there were scalpers everywhere. So you could have actually, even if they screwed you over and said, oh, I'm giving you an all-day pass, and they give you a one-day pass, it probably would have been cheaper to buy 3 individual day passes by a scalper on the street than a ticket, because the ticket was like $400.
Yeah.
And the scalpers were selling tickets for $40. Jesus. And I was like, so I could have just got 3 $40 tickets, or one, because they might have actually given me a real all-day pass, and fucking I'm gonna go back to Rolling Loud. I think we should go next year. We don't need to buy tickets. I don't think we need to buy tickets. Like, it was such a black event.
Horrible.
It was such a good event, but it was so black. And when you're in a very highly black environment.
See, look, listen. Why would we pay? Okay, look, we have been paying more for Coachella. Why would we pay less for like a black event, you know?
Yeah, but we're supporting black business, because all them scalpers is black.
Oh, fuck.
We're supporting, and you know, if you think about it, the Rolling Loud money is going to white people. Think about it.
You're right.
It might be going to so there's a partner who's black in there, but we're paying more white people by
get a ticket for $40.
Nigga, so many people were selling tickets. Mind you, there were still 1 million people in there. Like, it looked like Coachella. I was scared when I walked in, because I'm uncomfortable around large groups of people. It was a lot of people, so it was like, damn.
How was security?
Security was thorough, but I'm like, you can bring anything in, because if you had they didn't pull your joints or anything out. So we walked in with like 30 joints on our whole group, like, and I'm like, mind you, people cannot put weed in there and just put pills and roll it in a joint and say, you know, I'm smoking weed, it's Rolling Loud. God. And I was like, that means you also could put a blade in a joint. You know, you can, as long as you can make it look like a joint. They're not checking you. And there was actually, like, for the stuff people dumped that they couldn't bring in, like water bottles and stuff, there was like a joint in the tray, and I was like, bro, you could have kept that, because they aren't taking it. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was. I was very high, but it was because they went and bought a ton of indica. But sorry, we tangented off. This is information that I'm like, people might actually be interested to know. But how do you feel like the Drake and Pusha T thing will conclude?
I have to see what Pusha T's response is like.
Yeah, I think that he has the capability.
But the turnaround time is making me a little like, Drake responded in the same business day. I saw the memes that were saying that. Like, Drake responded in the same business day. We need you to do the same.
Yeah, but one point that I forgot to make is, like, remember when we were listening to it and I was like, Drake has a great team.
Yeah.
And imagine, I think it's like Drake sitting in a room with, like, maybe he has like
there's a studio in his house.
Yeah, but remember how Drake used to write for Lil Wayne, and so Drake could be sitting around with, like, say he's Lil Wayne with 5 other Drakes, pre-Drakes, you know, like 5 other Drakes, and be like, okay, so we heard Pusha T's album, we have 6 hours to make this song. And they all, but mind you, it's like 5 Drakes, so they're all coming with bars, and he's coming with bars, and there's so many bars, he's able to make a whole song. Because did you notice in this song, he was fucking hitting them on almost every other bar, he was smashing them, and I was like, that takes a lot of thought, you know. And Pusha T did say, if Pusha T knows, he knows, like, because he's in there. I think Drake does have writers.
True, he could possibly, but then at the same time, if Drake is writing for other people, why wouldn't he be able to write for himself? You know, that's just how I feel. Like, if you could write for somebody else, why would you not be able to write for yourself?
But I always feel like the songwriter process is they take bits and pieces. Like, when he was songwriting for Lil Wayne, he only was writing chunks of Lil Wayne's songs. He would write like 2 bars and just give it to Wayne. That's how songwriters are. They'll just have a bar and they'll be like, here, and they get paid for it. Yeah. But they just gave someone else their bar, you know? And I'm like, that's why I was like, it seems like just a whole bunch of songwriters, maybe not even 5, but maybe just one other dude who's solid as fuck. And they're literally just passing bars back and forth to each other. I really think that's how people make good songs. Like,
it's really possible.
That's why Migos songs are low-key trash, because all they do is, like, they'll hear the song and they'll be like, huh, hit him in the head, huh, huh, hit him in the head, hit him in the head, hit him in the head, and then they'll just make a song. And, you know, like, they're not working that hard. But, like, Drake I feel like, I don't know, Drake never said I don't have songwriters. Never in his career has he said niggas don't write my songs.
Yeah, and then part of the reason he responds quickly too is because it's like, well, if I had a writer, like, they're gonna be able to do it this quick, you know. But
Drake is talented, so mind you, he's one of the people on the team throwing bars out. Like, Drake also is writing, you know. It's just like his song was so many bars. Like, he had so many punch you in the gut bars.
I like, have faith in Barry, so
yeah, I mean, he's talented, but he's also very rich. I mean, Pusha T's rich also, but just not as rich as Drake, you know. Like,
I need to verify. I need to see who's richer.
I'm like, I want to know, but, like, I'm about
to see. Wow, why does Drake's net worth come up?
Net worth?
When I type in Pusha T net worth 2018, Drake's
came up. Wow, people are really excited.
Wow. Okay, 15 million. Oh yeah, 15? Drake is richer. Yeah, I already know Drake is richer.
Oh, Pusha T's 15.
Yeah, Drake is definitely.
Oh
richer.
Yeah, 15 mil.
Yeah, 90 mil.
90.
Oh yeah. Jesus. It's not okay. I understand it's not a competition of who's richer, but I'm just saying
Drake has more resources. Even as millionaires, Drake
is rich as fuck.
Drake has more resources.
Even if this ain't accurate.
Can we just look up how much Rihanna has just because we're doing this? Because I love everything she's doing, and I think being pretty has helped her.
Oh yeah.
But she's being real respectful of Black girls, and I appreciate her for that.
150 mil.
Yep. Ooh, okay. Rihanna slayed
That's that
Drake.
Shut up money. Like,
that's that.
Shut up, bitch.
I'm that bad bitch, and you talking about you love me since this age, and I.
Wait. That was wrong. Her estimated net worth is $245 million.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
Her trajectory is Beyonce money. You know, she doesn't even have that much less than Beyonce.
How much? And she's 29.
Beyonce has, I think, 600 mil. Her trajectory is doing very well for her. Like, you know, honestly, people buy Fenty Puma more than they buy Beyonce's clothing brand. So.
I've never bought anything Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce's net worth is $350 million. In 2017.
You know what I was thinking? Jay-Z and Beyonce combined are billionaires, But Jay-Z is at 800, right?
Jay-Z is worth more than Beyonce.
Yeah.
Sadly.
300?
Yeah.
What? Nah, something ain't right.
No, I really, because I always get surprised when I find out her net worth, and that it's literally that's it.
Oh, no.
Because I always get shocked every time. Okay, whoa.
It's 800, right?
Whoa. No, 900 million.
Holy moly.
Ooh, boy,
and
shit.
That's why Beyonce let him treat her like shit. She said,
oh, the bag is secured? Oh, I got my Birkin? Okay.
She was like, I just want my kids to live an amazing life. So, bitch,
live your best life. We ain't seen them twins since them little niggas came out.
Everyone's
Are they alive?
And they said, back when, we haven't seen them since you couldn't tell what they look like.
Like, they gonna bring out these kids, and we're just gonna have to trust that that's them.
That's how I felt about Kim Kardashian's son, Saint. I think his name is Saint West.
Yeah, Saint West. Yeah. Which one is
the little
that?
boy? Not the baby, just the little boy.
Okay,
I didn't know what he looked like, and then this boy came out with some cornrows, and I was like, oh,
that's it.
That they have interesting skin colors. They have that olive skin color, like that black olive, but they are Middle Eastern, right? Yeah. Armenian is Middle Eastern,
something like that. I
don't know. Sorry. So everyone knows everyone's net worth now.
Mm-hmm.
And we can use these net worths to start to explore how we can reach these levels.
Oh yeah, I need to be like Jay-Z at this point.
I mean, I want to start at.
But he's like 40.
I want to start at Rihanna. I want to start at Drake because Drake is at 90.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to start at Pusha T. No offense. I want to start around Drake. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't dream like that because then you're dreaming way too fast. You need to want to start below Pusha T. Get to Pusha T.
Drake
then
is
get to
barely
Drake.
30.
Exactly. He's 29, right?
30.
Right.
No, he just turned 30.
Yeah. So.
Rihanna ain't even 30 yet.
This is a good time to go to commercial break, Ashley.
Okay.
Hey guys, we wanted to interrupt the conversation real quick to talk about our Black business of the week. It is called Swimma, and I love the name because it's for swimmers, but they were being really creative and called it Swimma. I just feel like Jamaican and very like that vibe from it. It actually is, I believe, by an African designer, but these are swimming caps for people who have big, thick, in the way, difficult to manage hair. Sometimes if your hair is really thick, sometimes it's hard to put your hair in a ponytail. Like people really do struggle with that. And also shower caps don't fit your head. So this company has made swimming caps so people who don't want their hair damaged by the chlorine or whatever's in the ocean water or whatever, you can put on a swimming cap that actually will keep your hair dry. It will catch all of your hair if you have big, curly, long dreads. And I have huge, long dreads on right now. So it's cool to know that there is a product that if I wanted to get in the water and not fuck up my hair, I really could put these swimming caps on. They also have multiple sizes for kids, for tots, they call it tots, and for adults. And you can get extra large also for adults. They also have shower caps, and that is my issue because I have dreads in right now, faux locks, and I wear 2 shower caps every day, and my hair still gets wet. Like, that's how big my hair is. Like, I literally put one on the back of my head and one on the front of my head. My hair still gets wet. So they actually have the same thing for people with braids or just big hair. There's those girls out there who, not even black girls, there's some girls that are like, redheads and white girls and thick, that their curl pattern is more loose. So it's just like a ton of hair. Like, so this isn't just Black business for the Black community. This is for people, everybody. Girls and boys with long hair who suffer from my hair. I don't want my hair to get wet right now. But whatever, there's no product out here for me. So this is based in the Eastern Society. So it is Swimma, SWIMMA.co.za for people who live on the east of the world, basically. So
like in Europe,
Asia, Africa, stuff like that. And then for people who live in the United States, it is swimma.co.za/outside. And you can find stuff that will ship to you. So we'll put that in the description just in case you're interested. And back to our regularly scheduled program.
And we back, y'all. And so to wrap up like the Drake and the Pusha T little conversation,
Duppy and infrared.
Yeah, I wanted to look up what Duppy meant, and apparently Duppy is a Jamaican ghost. This is off of Urban Dictionary, and then even when I googled it said this, because sometimes Urban Dictionary be wrong.
Yeah.
But it says the Duppy is an evil spirit or ghost that originated in Jamaican folktales and made its way to Barbados. It often appears in the form of a dog barking or howling through the night. Another folktale says the Duppys live in the butterest roots of silk cotton trees. Yeah, so apparently I don't get
a ghost. You know, Drake thinks he's Jamaican now, so that actually is very correlated. So he thinks he's the ghost wolf, like. And I just because she looked that up, I was like, let me look up infrared, and infrared is a type of wavelength, but it did say it's a high wavelength. Yeah. So Pusha T could be saying he's vibrating on a higher level.
And then I dropped a bar. I was like, infrared, I can't be seen, but I can be felt. So touch, nigga.
Okay. Bars.
I got writers too.
So they were going in. That was very creative of them. Okay, let's quickly talk about this Morgan Freeman shit.
Yeah, Morgan. What's up, bruh?
When I found out, I was like,
he's the voice of Jesus in Bruce Almighty.
He's everyone's grandpa.
You're God in that movie.
He's literally everyone's grandpa.
What are you doing? Ew. When we went to the Museum of Wax in London.
Yeah, we were with him.
Fuck.
He probably touched my ass. I'm just kidding. But when I found out,
you're stupid as fuck. That was so unnecessary.
When I found out about him, I was like, all right, y'all, I'm tired. Just leave this nigga alone, because we let Bill Cosby go, and
that's horrible.
And
no,
we wanted Bill Cosby to be great. Let this nigga live. He's old.
Nah,
he's probably horny. He misses the days his dick got wet. There was a baby picture of him, and someone was like, Morgan Freeman used to be a baby.
Okay, because somebody said it was Amanda Seales. She was like, how are y'all surprised when he was dating his grandchild? It was some type of relation.
What?
But they were younger than him or some shit, and he was with them. I recall this slightly, but I didn't know how valid it was. So maybe it is valid.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information to take in.
And apparently he had 10 witnesses.
Holy shit.
I think.
Oh yeah.
In the article I read, it said 10 witnesses.
And he did something recently too.
What?
It was last year, in November.
Why do people be molesting and raping people?
He was just being nasty with a girl. He was like, yeah, I wish I could have some of that.
Oh my God. Don't she just, okay, what race was she? Because that happens in her.
She might have been white, but she might have been black. She was either white or black. I have no idea her race. But he was saying a whole bunch of stuff, and touching her waist and being like, yeah, if I was a little bit younger, I'd get in there. And, he was being an old nasty man.
An old nasty man. I hate those men.
They just missed the days their dick used to just dripping pussies. They just used to just dive in and smash it up. I remember that. I can imagine how it feels to be like, damn, I used to be young and just smacking dumb cheeks, and now I'm just old and my back hurt and I might die at any point. I don't know. I understand their sentiment.
Oh no, that's no.
He used to crack cheeks.
That's not an excuse, Nina.
His dick used to drip.
Okay.
And now it drips for medical reasons and not because he's.
It could have been dripping for medical reasons back then. You don't know.
I wonder if people since less people were crazy about their shit, if more people were catching STDs out
I'm
there.
pretty sure that's how it was.
You just were just burning
Yeah. And I feel like people couldn't afford shit. Even though everything was 25 cents.
25 cents was 25 cents was $23. Niggas used to get paid $1 and something cents per hour. Fuck. My dad said, I remember when gas was $1.91. I said, holy shit. Holy inflation.
Right.
Man, we have to learn about that in our finance classes. Actually, we have to, when you talk about our profit, and I'm gonna actually, when we do what we do, I'm gonna make sure that they're doing the math right too, because you have to account for inflation.
Yeah,
people don't account for the way inflation is working, and so they'll be like, oh, this is our profit, but the way they're graphing it, they're actually doing that. But you can do a discounted cash flow approach where it's you discount for what you think the rate of inflation will be based on treasury accounts and stuff like that. Interest levels are low right now. We're approaching the treasury rate. The treasury rate is known as the basis or the benchmark. This means this is the lowest.
Sound like a flight attendant. Go ahead.
The treasury is basically the lowest interest can get. That number is 0. Even if it says 3.91 or if it says 6 point something, that is 0. That is a benchmark. So we are approaching treasury rates. This is a good time if you have the investment to get a home.
Okay.
Secure your credit score. And
secure the bag.
Go after increasing your credit and getting assets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry. So back to our
beautiful
discussion.
Good to know.
Yeah.
How long does it stay that way?
Well, we've also said that the recession is coming. Oh, you know what the thing is, though? During the recession, interest rates are low.
Okay.
Because
beautiful.
they know they can't raise money on you when you're going broke.
When you have none.
Yeah. They actually lower interest rates, so you buy more. So just to be like, oh, interest is low. Okay, I can still afford it. If they raise it, people are going to be like, no.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And it's crazy because our recessions hit other countries. We just learned about how our the 1990 recession, it like fucked up Japan. Whoa. Like real bad. Oh, and this was the housing crisis, the one that we had in 2008.
Yeah,
that fucked up Japan too. Yeah, we
wow. And not to be like, oh, aren't they already poor? Like, but aren't they like already like aren't they considered like a third world country?
They got money as a country. As a country, they got money, but region. Yeah, U.S. is really into like people's feelings and feelings. So we're not gonna really screw people over the way other countries will. Like, but we do still have homeless people. But
yes,
their people are homeless for different reasons, and our people are homeless basically.
Like, what are their people homeless for?
Their people are homeless for real fucking tragic reasons. And they never been able to get out. Ours have been out like, you're black, and because of that, I'm gonna fuck up your way of living. And oh, you look like I don't know. I honestly still do not understand why veterans are being treated so poorly. Like that, I can't speak on because a lot of the people on the streets are veterans. Yeah, I don't get that. That I can't add that up. How people can fight for your country and then live on the street.
But then that's why I'm like, I would never do that.
I would never go to war. As children, you know, you were supposed to let your children like, what do you want to be?
Yeah, nah, fuck that.
When I was 4, my dad was like, we don't do war. We don't do army in this family. Don't even consider it. Okay. So no. Like my dad really was like, no. Because I think he has the sentiment that I now have. I'm not fighting for this fuck ass country. Y'all can figure that shit out. Like, I'll be long gone before you figure this shit out. So I'm gonna work over here and make my money. Fuck y'all. You really could give a fuck about my life because look at the veterans on the street. You're gonna do the same. All these niggas are suffering from PTSD.
Oh yeah.
They got out. They became alcoholics because of PTSD. Like, by the way, I just went to Starbucks and there was a whole homeless man just sitting on his cell phone in the corner.
Cell phone.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a cell phone because he was holding it like that, but it was some sort of electronic. But his feet were like, he's a white man. His feet were like black. That's how I knew he was homeless. Like, then he had a dirty bag and like I was like, oh, homeless people are in here. I didn't know they were allowed to sit there like that. But I guess the black thing happened, so homeless people might be also more bold about coming in. They might be trying to get a lawsuit
about that.
You know, these homeless people got electronics. They just don't want to get a real job because they're depressed. They got issues. Homeless people are homeless because they have issues.
No comment.
They don't want to but think about it. Do you want to do your homework when you're really depressed? It's the same when you're in the depths. They're in the depths. You think they want to work on their lives? That's why I don't hate them, but I also am not going to help them. I'm not going to help you. You need to help yourself. Oh, the only way to really succeed is to at some point help yourself.
True, but I don't know. They don't have a lot of resources apparently. They may have a cell phone, but
the average homeless person, they said they make like more than what I make an hour. If you panhandle, like I think they make like $100 an hour panhandling. That's why Just Hilarious was like, homeless people got it right. These niggas ain't paying no rent, but got the money on deck. Like, they get money all day, ain't got no bills. She was like, smart.
Fuck no, not to be dirty.
I know, like, it's not smart, but that's the joke behind it. It's like, you guys make money. You guys are actually out here making money. Like, you guys make money. Yeah. You should spend that on washing up and just walking the whole town all day and trying to get a job at McDonald's or whatever fast food place. Like,
but they have to pay taxes. They need an address.
I knew a nigga who would not get a job because he wouldn't be able to live in income controlled housing. So don't think homeless people aren't out here thinking the same types of things. That's why I can give you food all day. I'll give you food all day. I'm not giving you money.
Okay. I feel that though. Like, anytime I usually give anything to a homeless person, it's like, do you want me to buy you food?
I'll get you a whole thing at McDonald's. Like, a whole thing.
Whatever you want.
I'm not giving you money.
Yeah, because I don't know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
And if you really are hungry, like it says on your sign, you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
you know.
Sometimes people's stories, man. I don't want to sound cynical, but there are a lot of fake panhandlers out there. And I think I'm jaded because I watched Intervention for too long, and a lot of them were going out on the street panhandling for maybe four hours, and they would go to their car after panhandling and inject themselves and then fall asleep in their car for like 3 hours. Remember I told you about the lady who did that while her family was waiting at their house for her birthday party?
Her birthday,
She came to her birthday party like 6 hours late, just coming down off of heroin, and her children were there waiting for her. Her own children.
See, but okay, in instances like those, it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Sick.
So they're sick. Because you have a problem if you're going to degrade yourself and beg people for money
and fuck for money
to get drugs.
Yeah.
And then you have to put that shit in a fucking, like, for those more intense drugs, like the ones you have to put a needle in your arm to take, I couldn't do that shit. Like, because I'm not injecting myself with something. I am not an anesthesiologist. I am not a doctor. I do not know the correct amount for my body weight. Like, and you're doing it based off feeling like, oh yeah, this feel right.
I saw one dude, like, and then they start doing it everywhere. Right. They'll put it in between their toes, in between their fingers. They'll inject anywhere. Like,
see, but if I was a drug addict, I would probably start on my feet, because it's like, if you have a job, I'm not about to have track marks on my arm, right? My job gonna be like, Ash, take your socks off.
I have a friend. I feel bad for her. She's been a cook for so long that she's never cut herself, but like she's burned herself for 5 years now. So she has 5 years worth of being in the kitchen every day, like burn, and so it looks like cuts. And I'm like, and she says that people have come up to her and been like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm a cook. Like, I'm a cook. Yeah. I'm like, I just feel bad for her.
Like, leave me the fuck alone.
I don't cut. I promise. These are all, like, you know, the corner of the thing singes you.
Yeah.
And I actually have burns like that,
like,
too, from
you
touching
can come
stuff.
to my job if you don't believe me.
I'm just reckless, I know, with my skin, and I'm sorry, but I don't have much to say about Morgan Freeman, but I guess he has to get in trouble if he did something. That sucks, though, because I really do want him to always be in movies. But there's a lot of actors.
It's okay. He's getting of age, so who's stepping up? Denzel? You gonna replace Morgan?
Somebody said nobody would have come with no Denzel accusations. That's what one of the comments said. They said, I don't even care about this thing. Because they're like, honestly, a lot of the comments I saw was like, who's next? Yeah. Denzel, who's next?
I need Denzel to be an honest man.
It's like, I get that you guys don't want them to get rid of every black famous person, because they really do mean a lot to us.
But if they did something,
they gotta go. Yeah. I think I've lived my whole life not knowing not to touch on little boys and little girls. Like, and that's crazy. All the grown men that talk about people who rape them were our age. Women our age. We're almost all of them that got raped by women. They're all our age, and they were all about 10 to 15 years old. That's creepy. Because I would never. That's why I say that comment. I'm like, I would never touch a little boy or a little girl. But some people are sick. Because how could I, as a 25-year-old girl, go and touch a 15-year-old boy and fuck him and suck his dick? You know? Oh, man, that makes me sick. You have to be... There's something wrong with you.
If you go and prey on a little child like that.
Yeah, like, D.L. Hughley.
Why can't you get a man your age? Like, when you're 25, like, why are you out here going
any raggedy-ass nigga. There are a lot of them. Raggedy-ass nigga. Charlemagne the God and D.L. Hughley both got molested.
She wants low risk of STDs when they do these things. I don't know.
I mean, but these niggas is dirty. You're just gonna increase bacteria. Yeah. Because little kids are dirty. D.L. Hughley and Charlemagne the God were molested by 25-year-old women. I think Charlemagne's was like 27 or something, but like they were all averaging 25 years old, to the point where the 25-year-old girl pulled up in front of D.L. Hughley's house in her car. Because she has a license, and that's how much older she is, and he's a boy. She was crazy enough to pull up in front of his house while his mom was in the yard.
I remember you telling me this, and his mom was like, no.
She was like...
She shut that shit
down. She said, why are you here? She was like, oh, I'm just my friend. He's my friend. She said, if you ever come back here, I will murder you. She said that to her, and the girl was like, oh, okay, and left. And that was the last time she ever saw her.
That's how you know you doing wrong.
And D.L. Hughley said, like, when he used to go to her house, she was, like, mean to him. Or was that Charlemagne? I don't know. Yeah, actually, that was both of them. They both said that the girls were mean to them, and I'm like, I guess because they're children, they know they can. Yeah. Like on some weird pervy shit, you know. Probably like I have some. Maybe they're being treated shitty like niggas, and they want a nigga they can dominate, which is very scary that you're doing that to a child.
That I don't know. I can't think of the reasoning behind it
because
there is none.
And I think it's also a weird mental health thing because they both say they liked it. Yeah, I know. They both said they liked it. But I'm like, I don't even believe it anymore. Like, I think you made yourself believe you like it because you're a boy and you should like a girl playing with you.
Even, especially because she's older and she knows what she's doing. Because you know how they like over sexualize little boys all the time. Like, if a guy, like, I hate how it's like, there's so many stereotypes in the world, first of all. That just piss me off. Like, you know how the happy wife, happy life, and how marriage is always portrayed as like this guy is giving up his freedom and all this other shit to get a wife. Like, it's not something people are always proud of. But then the over sexualization of little boys, where it's like, oh, well, if a young teenage boy is caught fucking by his father, it's like, oh, congratulations, son. I didn't even have to talk to you. Did you put it down? Blah, blah, blah. And then the girls, it's like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. You're not having sex no more. You're staying here. Do I need to help you? Do you need an abortion? Do you need to go to the doctor? Like, yeah. And I'm it's just like, phone. Yeah, it's like, I don't like that shit. Like, if it's not gonna be okay for one young person, it shouldn't be okay for the other young person, despite the sex. Yeah. Like, because these little boys ain't out here just these little girls ain't just out here getting pregnant themselves. They're not like going in and getting a fucking turkey baster. Right. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like, a little boy who's equally irresponsible as her are putting themselves in a predicament they don't know how to deal with because parents don't be talking to their kids about this shit. Yeah. And so it's like they don't even know how to protect themselves. And then when they get in the situation where they're having sex, what do? You try and remove them from the situation. And you try to just take them out of it instead of educating them. Instead of making them better. Instead of like helping them, do it in a way that's safe. Because like there's multiple, like I have had experience with this because my nephews are being raised in the home that I live in. So it's like, they treat my nephews different than they treat my cousin who lives with us. And I'm like, you're being harder on her than you are on them. And they're older than her. Yeah. And you're treating them like they're so fucking precious.
Boys are treated like babies their whole life.
Their whole life. And I'm like, you cannot treat them like this. You can't. Like,
why are women
held to a higher standard than men? I don't get it. But then a woman's supposed to rely on a man who wasn't brought up being independent to provide for her? That doesn't make sense to me. That's why I'm like, I don't mind being the breadwinner because that shit don't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's a weird concept.
It is.
That might be why I like older men because they were raised with
in a different household,
values,
differently,
a different generation.
Yeah,
you know, where men were expected to do all the hard work and they were expected to bring something. Even as children, they're expected to bring some shit.
And they
home.
they had to do like manual labor. Like that's what like little boy work was back then. It was like manual labor. Like you ask my nephews to do some shit now, they're fucking huffing and puffing and complaining and saying it's heavy. Like,
and it's funny because the older dudes I know, they have that mentality. Like even down to like, if someone just came in and they have a ton of groceries, I need to get up. I need to get up and go get. Yeah. And the next generation of people don't think, I need.
They gotta be told.
Yeah, like niggas really will hop up and be like, let me help you. Let me get this.
And that's how I feel like I'm even that way. Like as soon as my mom gets home and I know she has groceries, I'm like, oh. Okay.
First of all, I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah. Like I would always help do it. Now that my nephews are here, I'm like, y'all need to go help. Like I make them go do it. Like that's your job. Yeah. Like
it's interesting. I'm gonna try to. The thing is, I don't want to. When I have kids, I don't want to overmasculate my sons.
But I just feel like treat the kids the same way. Yeah. Like male or female, just treat them all the same. Yeah. If you're gonna be hard on one, you have to be
equally as hard on the other.
Like give the same energy to your kids. Like because when you treat your kids different, your other kids notice. Like you know,
they really do. Oh, and there was another thing I wanted to talk about when it came to mental health, because a lot of people give up on finding therapists once they either see a therapist that sucks, or they can't, or they're health insurance, or they don't have health insurance,
or something's too expensive.
Yeah, things are too expensive. So I kind of wanted to talk about roadblocks that people can hit when they are looking for a healthcare professional. We've talked about Talkspace a lot. It's a great resource. It has great reviews. And so that is a resource to definitely check out. I know in different states, people have different hospitals, like Kaiser. We have Kaiser. When I went to Virginia, people didn't even know what Kaiser was. Yeah. So it's I think it's a California regional thing. Yeah.
They do have other locations. I just can't remember which ones. Yeah,
it's like specific areas. Yeah. It's a private hospital.
Yeah.
And so even if you don't have the insurance we have over here, or any of the other versions we have in California.
You can call any, like if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, if you have Aetna, if you have what have I had else?
IEHP.
What is there? There's SCAN, IEHP, there's AARP. There's so many different forms of insurance. Whichever insurance you have, you can call member services and see what services are offered to you through your health plan. And you can get the cost of the copay. Like they can estimate the cost of your copay if they're not sure. I know sometimes the customer service is shady,
trash. Yeah.
But you can ask what your copay is for certain services, because there are different copays associated with different types of services you get. So say for instance, my healthcare, I get free preventative care visits and I get free physical exams, and then a few other things are free. And then for other things, I have to pay a portion of what the full cost is for that service. So like say if I get an x-ray and it is whatever cost, and then my copay is $30. So it's just things like that. You can call and find that information out from member services, and they can help guide you in the right direction you need to go, and you'll have an idea of how much it'll cost. That way, if Talkspace is cheaper, you can use Talkspace. If another online service is cheaper, you can use that online service. Or if you can find a discount code for one of the online services and it's cheaper than what your healthcare is, that is also a great way to even just get introduced into finding a therapist. Now, after that, you have to just go to the therapist and try them.
Yeah.
Read their track record, see where their education is. And then I know on like Blue Cross Blue Shield, you can look up doctors in your network and they will have reviews from other patients, and they'll have a rating on what they're good at, what they specialize in, and you could see where they went to school, where they did their fellowship, where they did their training, and really get a background check on your physician before you even go in and see them, and see if your personality and the therapist personality will even match up.
Yeah, they're called therapists, right? And then the ones that diagnose medication are called
psychiatrists. Yeah.
Usually, I don't know this, but do you usually go to a therapist first, and then they send you to a psychiatrist, or you could start with either?
I think you could start with either, because there's psychiatrists and then psychiatrists. There's a psychologist. Psychologists do not prescribe medication. Psychiatrists do.
What's a
I know that's one of the
psychoanalyst?
psychoanalyst.
Damn, that's not the word.
No.
Psychologist. Nope, that's a word I made up in my head.
Psychologist, yes, that's definitely
made that up. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, and also like you were saying, doing all those things allows you to compare, prices. So it does take more research, and I know especially when you're like when you're depressed, you don't feel like doing shit either, so it does take time, but it doesn't mean to give up. It just means it takes time. That's fine. Life takes time, as you've seen.
Separate it into tasks.
Yeah, separate it into a task, and just work on it slowly over time, because you also might even get to the point where you get to this therapist, the price is right, everything, and you don't like your therapist.
Yep.
And so there's nothing wrong with after your session going to the front lobby, or calling if you don't feel like doing it in person, and saying, hey, I didn't really have a good experience with the doctor. I want to see if there's another doctor that I can try to work with. Also, one thing that I personally feel is, as a Black woman, I'm not saying this is every Black woman, I'm just saying as a Black woman, I've faced enough Black woman experiences that I think I might mesh really well with a Black woman, just because I feel like she may have gone through very similar things. So not only is she using her education, she's using her life experience to help me. I'm not saying everyone should do this, but if you're in that same thing where a lot of your issues are based off of racial experiences related to your race, there might be a doctor out there of same race or of very similar race, because it's like, it's not only Black women, it's like African women and other type of people who go through the same struggle as us.
Brown people.
Yeah, brown people. It could be someone from Britain who never lived in America, but she's black, so she gets it, you know, like. And so it's just someone that's okay, and don't feel rude. And as long as you're not being racist and being like, I need someone black, I don't do white people, that's not appropriate.
It's very close-minded.
Very close-minded, very ignorant, very
from
stupid.
The people that always talk about white people.
And it's a poor representation of yourself. So mine, when I say it, like, I've gone to obviously non-black doctors, and I've had non-black doctors that I liked. But it's just... now in this point of my life, while I'm doing that hunt, I'm in the middle of the hunt right now too, so it's not like I've solidified something. In the middle of the hunt, it's like, yeah, I really do want a black woman, and one who's very empathetic to like what black women are going through, maybe even specifically what dark-skinned black women are going through, since there's so many fucking issues going on, you know, because there's a lot of self-hate in this country, a lot of ignorance in this country. Ignorant. So that was just another opinion of mine. Always don't give up. Like, feel free to take breaks if it's too overwhelming, but until you find a doctor that you really like, and until you find a price that you really like, just keep trying over time, because sometimes it takes time. Life will keep happening, you know, but like, take your time. If you do feel like it's an emergency, just go see anyone, really, because they can at least bring you out of those crazy thoughts that are going on in your mind just because of what you're... Hopefully I mean, they will try, and they really will care, and they won't just throw you in a crazy house. They'll actually talk to you, because sometimes it's just a panic attack. You know, sometimes it's really just a panic attack. And you realize
the issue wasn't even that big, but your brain was like, it is.
Right.
Today it is.
And your heart starts beating all fast and shit, right. You know, like,
might not have bothered you yesterday, but today, you're lucky.
And we're saying that this is normal. Like, we're saying this is totally normal. You don't have to feel guilty when this shit happens, because if you start feeling guilty, you're going to make yourself more sick.
Yeah. Because then you feel like you shouldn't be feeling this way, and then you feel even worse that you feel this way. Cyclical cycle, and you try to
fix it, and it's like, stop, please, before you hurt yourself.
Just breathe, guys.
Breathing is awesome. Is there any other tips you would give when it comes to that search?
Be open-minded.
Look online.
Yeah, that too. Looking online saves a ton of time.
Google is pretty great. Their stock is up.
I love Google. I don't know what I did before Google.
BTW actually gave me a gift card towards buying stocks for my birthday. So when niggas know you, that's how you know. That's how you know. I also had a friend who gave me a shit ton of weed related supplies. A little bit shocked.
Pretty intense.
And he was really nice, because he like gave some of it away. Like, it was a lot. So he like gave some of it. It was all my close friends with me, so he gave some of it away to my friends. And it's like, so they just came up on grams. They really just came up on some grams, on some rolling papers and candy. Yep. It was pretty fun. Pretty awesome. My birthday's on May 30th, but I celebrated it on May 26th. I'm turning 26. I'm over the hump. We were talking about how we're getting old now. I know people are like, you're not old, but this is literally the beginning of getting old. This is day one. Yep. Of becoming old. So we're accepting it. We need to pee more. We need to sleep more. And we're cynical. Yep.
Very morbid. Apparently I have dark humor, according to
I love dark humor. I love dark humor.
That's what he said, because I asked him, I was like, do you think I'm funny? And he was like, well, you're like funny sometimes. He was like he's like, you have dark humor. I was like, oh, okay, so you don't think I'm funny and cool? Okay.
I remember this boy, we were all showing each other our ID cards from high school, because we're all ugly. And, you know, and like, you know, everyone's ugly in high school. And we weren't ugly. We were broke. Yeah. But,
just like Cardi used to be.
This boy showed me his card, and I was like, I have a joke, but it's so dark. I was like, it's very dark. And he was like, okay. And I was like, everyone at the table, are you all comfortable with dark jokes? I need to make sure that I can say this.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Because somebody can be seriously offended by this. And mind you, they had all seen his ID card too. And they're like, no, we're fine. And I was like, you look like a school shooter. And he did. I swear to God, 100% looked like a school shooter. 100%. So
it's so funny how they have a look. Like, why do they have a look?
Because they're hurt.
We need to start stereotyping these motherfuckers and rounding them up.
The one who just shot up in Houston, they said this nigga wore a black trench coat every day.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. I'm sorry that we're this like black and people.
Apparently he like sang a song. I think this was him. There's so many school shootings. I'm so confused. Yeah. I think he was singing Another One Bites the Dust. I don't know if this, apparently when he was shooting people. And then one of the girls that was murdered by him told her parents, like, he's going to find me and kill me 2 weeks before she died. 2 weeks before she died. Yep, she told her parents, he's going to find me and kill me. Because apparently he had a crush on her. Niggas that don't get to fuck, you said this before.
That's all it is. Before. Niggas treat you like shit. Boys treat you like shit because you're not like them. And girls don't want nothing but to do with you when it comes to relationships. And these niggas are the ones shooting up schools. Yeah, your dick never gets touched.
Yeah.
And you're watching all these boys get their dick touched.
He liked her. She didn't like him. And she told him, like, leave me alone. Like, I don't want to fuck with you. And he told her, like, I'm going to kill you. Like, he literally told her. She told her parents, he's going to kill me.
And her parents didn't do.
And he killed her. Yep, definitely killed her.
She told her parents.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would do if I don't care if my kid's lying, mind you. Because you know kids
lie.
We're
going to find out.
Kids lie and shit goes down. You come home and tell me a boy said he will kill you. First of all, you're not going back to school.
No.
Second of all,
if he comes to our house, I'm calling the fucking cops. I'm not opening the fucking door.
First of all, I'm gonna call security, like a security system, if I don't already have one, because I plan to already have one. Say, you're gonna set this up in my house. We'll worry about the bill with the bill later. I'm gonna call the school. I'm gonna call the school and say, this boy just said he's gonna kill my child. So if you don't figure this out, mind you, I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm getting security set up in my house. You guys will pay that bill because now my child is being told that someone's trying to kill them. He's not getting in this house, so I need security. Mm-hmm. So what are you gonna do? Because these niggas are out here killing. Like, I was watching 13 Reasons Why, texting Ashley, like, I said the way they set this up, they raped a boy. He was already fuck. The crazy thing about, like, spoiler, if you want to watch 13 Reasons Why,
trash anyway. Who wants to watch
it's a trash season.
Trash show.
If you want to see it, I'll put in the description where I'm talking about it, because you don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna spoil it right now. So this boy he was already like the weird, set it up from first episode, set him up to be the school shooter. So, like, you know, sweet little boy. He wasn't mean to nobody. He wasn't a weirdo. He was just, like, quiet, and he was the photographer of the school. He did the school newspaper. Yeah, so you saw this first season, right? So that same boy with the curly hair, took pictures. He actually took pictures of Hannah in a nice way, not even in a stalker way. At one point, he was like, oh, can I take pictures? She was like, yeah. So she's, like, by a tree, you know, like. So he was just a normal boy who loves taking pictures. He's quiet. There's nothing wrong with being quiet. And so he was getting bullied the whole time. Like, he was a weirdo. So he's getting bullied the whole time. Mm-hmm. Then he gets in trouble because his parents didn't listen to him. You know, like, that's why they say listen to your kids, because they kind of just took him as, like, you're full of shit. And so they took his camera away. And then he started getting in trouble. So they sent him away. They sent him away to, like, some camp. And so he comes back with his hair cut, and he has to go to the therapist, who, mind you, they fired the black guy.
Because the girl died.
Which you shouldn't. You have a guy who's already working with that risk, so they bring in a whole new bitch. They bring in a whole new bitch who doesn't know none of these kids. And she's talking to him, and she's like, oh, you know, like, how are you doing? Da, 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 da. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, I'm okay. Like, and she's like, okay. And then she was like, you know, I want to be honest with you. Like, you're more of, like, a high risk. Is there anything I can do? Like, or something. And he basically, the way he was talking, I was like, because he was like, you know, I just know how to handle situations better, and I know that I can't control other people's response, but I can control what I do. Oh God! And I was just like, dangerous. Red flag. Don't always assume it's bad, but always look at the other side of what he's saying.
Dangerous as shit.
And he was just smiling like, oh, well, I just know how I can control my actions. And she said, are you ready to go back to school? And he's like, yeah, I'm totally ready to go back to school.
Because he's ready to blow that motherfucker up.
Yeah. And so he gets back after having that conversation, and all the jocks, like, corner him in the locker room because he was part of the case, and he, like, got someone in trouble during the case. They corner him, throw him in the bathroom, beat his ass, and then take a broomstick and fuck him in the ass with it. And it's bleeding. So he even tries to shit the next day, and he can't shit, and there's just blood coming out of his ass.
He didn't tell anyone?
He didn't tell nobody. Nobody knows it happened other than the people who raped him. So he didn't get raped by a guy. He got raped by a mop.
Sodomized.
He got sodomized by a mop, and it was bloody. Like, he was crying on the toilet because he needed to shit. Can you imagine? Not only did you get raped,
he needs to go to the doctor.
And male rape is the lowest recorded, like, ever, because men are so insecure about the fact that they got raped when they're not gay.
He's fucking up his whole self.
He literally was crying on the toilet, and it was just red, just blood all over his hands. Like, first of all, when you rape a guy and he's bleeding, And he stuck it like deep. Like I couldn't even handle it.
I know that shit hurt.
So this nigga was just like, didn't tell nobody, and literally got raped, came out of the bathroom, and there was someone in the hallway, and he was just like, oh, hi. And acted like nothing happened. He just got raped.
Oh, he has mental health issues for real.
Pulled all them guns out. He came with like...
He was like, oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, his friends stopped him at the end of the day, but in real life, like they had an after show, and the therapist in real life was like, just so you know, in situations like this, even if it's a loved one, a friend, do not try to stop them. Just run inside and lock the doors. Because they're saying approaching a suspect... high levels,
high risk of dying.
High risk of dying. Like you're like, they were like, it's over 90% chance you're probably gonna die. Okay. So they said, honestly, don't try to stop them. Just run inside, lock the doors as much as possible, and hide under something and try to call the police. Yeah, I was like, okay, good to know. Like
that's intense.
They said even if it's your husband, don't do it. Oh, like yeah, even if it's your brother,
I
like
can't let Bay get shot by the cops.
Yeah, like they said, don't do it. Like it's crazy. Yeah, and so that's these same niggas. It's the same ones that are. I just can't believe their parents heard the boy say he's gonna kill me, and you did not pull your daughter out of school. I would pull. First of all,
and it literally happened 2 weeks after she told you. And as a parent, I know you're crushed. Because it's like you didn't do anything guilty for your kid. And
it would suck for your kid too, because it's almost like you're putting your kid on punishment, because they can't leave the house. This boy probably knows where she lives or can find out. But it's like, and honestly, it's good that we're learning these things too. So now in the future, if it happens, I know what to do. But I'm like, now if it happens to me in the future and my daughter says that, you're on lockdown, unfortunately, until I figure this out with the police and the school. But since you're on lockdown for something you didn't do, this is a good time to like reward your kids, to like, just in like parenting in general, like reward your kids to let them know you didn't do anything wrong. I know you want to leave the house, but like,
this is a matter of
here's McDonald's every day, or like, how parents buy kids McDonald's all the time, you know what I mean? Like, here's things that you like because you're in a fucked up situation,
but you're allowed to have soda today.
Right. It's like, yeah, you can have snacks, like, but it's like your daughter died off of some shit she actually told you was going to happen.
And it was a horrible.
And that boy said, I made sure not to shoot people I liked. He said that.
So that means you were not insane, homeboy.
But he said I wanted them to tell my story.
They can't give him the death penalty. They can't.
He's too young, right?
No, he's not too young. So it's some like act that they passed in Texas that if a minor, even though they're treating him as an adult, cannot be subjected to the death penalty. And he can't be put on life without parole. There is a chance that he can get parole, but that doesn't mean that they're going to grant it to him.
Like they said, kids can more be rehabilitated than adults can.
But you're 17. You're kind of irreversible.
Oh, he was 17. He's fucked. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's 17, but they're still trying him as an adult.
Oh, yeah. That's what they always do. Yeah. I mean, he said, oh, I want the people I didn't shoot to tell my story. What the fuck am I tell your story for, nigga?
Write your fucking journal and kill yourself. What the fuck? We can read it out of there.
Pussy ass nigga. Like I would have been like, you didn't shoot me, but you should have, cause fuck you. Like, what the fuck do you mean tell your story, nigga? You just ruined people's lives just now.
You were clearly very unfucking happy when you are in control of your situation, and if you were feeling in a way that people weren't being nice to you, fucking snitch. Keep snitching. Like that's all that I can say to do. Keep snitching. Tell your parents. Go to a fucking therapist.
Kids don't tell
fucking help.
It's crazy because kids don't tell their parents shit.
No, they don't say shit.
But honestly, kids that have more of a friend relationship with their parents, I do notice they do tell their parents a lot more shit. Like there's people who in high school their parents really did know their business. That's good, Like it's just
you should. Like you should feel comfortable with that.
You should.
Like you shouldn't feel like your parent is judging you, like or making it feel like you can't open up to them and tell them about, oh, I had a shitty day today. Can you like be nicer to me or something?
Right. You should be able to.
You should be able to do that. Like you should have that level of comfort with your parents, and it sucks that some people don't. And like there's this quote that I saw, I can't remember what it's from, but it's like, don't raise your children like your parents raised you, or like you were raised, because you were from a different generation. It's from a whole different time. Like parenting, like you have to be able to adapt. Like you have to be able to think about the time you're living in and think about like what is worst for my child and what is best for my child, right now.
It's funny because parents even treat that with dating, and it's like, I wish dating is something people probably thought wouldn't change much, but it's like, I'm sorry guys, it's very
needs
different.
to change.
It's very no, it used to be better back in the day, and now it's gotten terrible
with the dads. Apps. Oh yeah,
because I mean, I'm
thinking about controlling. You parents. Are right. Like the dads, I feel like have gotten a little crazier.
And I don't know if deadbeat dads have increased or decreased or just kept the same thing. Because they're still always been shit. It's weird when niggas are still deadbeats. Like, I know you don't like that bitch, but like, just hang out with your kid. Yeah. And then stop being a dick, because if she needs diapers, you fucking asshole. Because I have seen some deadbeat dads who it's like.
But there's also those moms too that use the kids as leverage, which I cannot stand. They're like, well, God. You're not seeing your kids. Like, until you do this, you're not seeing your kids. Like, until if it's one thing, like, until you go get your warrant taken care of, you're not seeing your kids. I completely understand that. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if it's like, if you don't stop dating that bitch, like, why are
don't bring my son around her. It's like, I get that, but if they've been together for a while, it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
And if you trust this woman to be in your life, and I trust that you have good judgment, cool. But if it's like,
some niggas be like, I had a friend who said like his dad was a Rolling Stone, so he had a ton of kids from like 3-4 different women. And he says he actually remembers being, because he's like way older now, 29, and he remembers being a baby or a little kid, and it'd be his dad's time to watch him, and his dad would just take him to his current bitch's house, and he would play with her kids. Wow. And it wouldn't even be bitches that like he stayed with. Like he was taking his son to different bitches, and he would just play with whoever's kids was there, or he'd play by himself because she had no kids. Like I was like, it's crazy because dads will do that. There's a lot of fucking deadbeats out there.
Yeah, and then it's like, if you get yourself into a situation like that, God forbid, like I hope you're choosing better people to fuck, because you have to, like, at a certain age, you have to think about every person you have sex with is somebody you can potentially have a child with, and if you don't want to have a child with this person,
you need to wear a condom.
Shouldn't be fucking them. Or you shouldn't be fucking them, because condoms are not fail safe.
Condoms break, yeah.
It's like you have to have better judgment. Like, I'm all free, fuck whoever you want, however you want, how many people you want, but like, please remember there are consequences to having sex.
Yeah.
Just be aware of that.
And on that note, guys,
let's end this shit. Yes. I can't tell you about. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about fucking.
Look at God, my birthday is in a couple days.
Look at God. Let me think. Oh, I'm off work for a week.
Really? Oh yeah.
Because I was supposed to go to Panama, but we changed our mind about when we're going, so I'm still gonna be off work, and my work phone will be off. Not helping nobody with shit. No, I will not cut my vacation short, and no, I cannot help you on this day.
That's
Sorry.
Nice.
I'm gonna have my away message set up. Like, I'll be having shit set up prior, from these dates to this dates, from this time to that time. Don't contact me. I'm gonna have so many emails when I get back.
Yep. Fuck it.
Fuck.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Search Young and Gettin It Podcast. You can also find us. Also subscribe. Fuck with us heavy. Subscribe.
Yeah, leave that rating.
Every Monday we here. Also leave a review. You can find us on soundcloud.com/weareYAGIP. Follow us, subscribe, leave a comment. Also, and you can download our things on SoundCloud, and you can, like, there's something else you can do.
You can like it.
Yeah, like you can like it. SoundCloud has a lot more like options than iTunes.
Also share it.
Yeah, you can also share with your friends. Like, we're young millennials. Things are changing in our lives, even to the point where there's things that we're doing that we can't really talk about yet, but we're going to be here. So when, as they develop, like, we're going to tell you guys about it, because we want to be able to help you guys do the same. Because I know there's a lot of young entrepreneurs out there also who want to learn something about finance.
And we need to start owning shit.
Right. And we need to start buying from each other, but there needs to be enough of us, and there needs to be
a good business practice.
Right. I was just about to say that. I said there needs to be good enough customer service for us to recommend for this shit to really go down, because I really think that's our biggest issue, and we're not talking about it as much as we should. Yes. I think we need to acknowledge that customer service is not where it needs to be, so that we start working on it, because we rally up about everything else
except for
what we're doing wrong
and black customer service, but we so quick to record somebody being rude or racist at a store, complain about Starbucks kicking people out. But where is the alternative?
I'm like, it would be so offensive to be like #improve black customer service. So we need to find out a better hashtag, but we need to work on that. Also,
black businesses link up.
Also, you can find us on YouTube. Search Young and Gettin It Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast. You can find us.
You could find us.
Yeah.
You could also find us on Twitter and Instagram at YAGI_podcast. You could also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/YAGIPOD. We have our website, www.weareyagip.com. And you can also email us at ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. And extra emphasis on sticking with us, following us, rating us, liking us, all
we
that
appreciate
good shit.
It all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Episode 29 is in the books.
See you next Monday.
Bye.